Your YouTube feed is full of those manosphere influencers that look like they know what they are talking about. Your IG feed is full of those strong men telling you hard things that make you feel very good. Or maybe it's your TikTok For You page if you're still a virgin. No matter where you look, all that you see online are confident men telling you not to give a fuck about women, to go your own way, to work for your own success, and that eventually someday women will come. Meanwhile, you try to go to the gym, you try to make money, you try to work on yourself, and you're seeing some results, and yet you still don't get girls. You made yourself into an attractive guy and you still have no fucking idea how to get a date with even an average girl. And I'm not even talking about pretty hot girls, those girls don't even give you the time of the day. But what if there was a way for you to actually consistently pull the girls you like? So before you click off this video, let me show you a few of my recent results that I got by following none of the red pill manosphere advice. It's pretty good in my opinion, not too shabby. And so most of the high value guys, when they watch stuff like that, their first reaction is to tell me to fuck off. If that's you, keep watching. There is this thing in psychology called the consistency bias, and it's this idea that the more you're into something, the more you're invested into something, the more your ego gets attached to the fact that you're doing something, the harder it is for you to get out of this thing. Basically, the more you do something, the less likely you are to stop doing this thing, even if you see that it's not working. So I understand the harsh reactions guys might have when you tell them you don't need to work on yourself so hard to get with hot girls, you just need to understand social skills and to give them what they want to pull them back home. Now, I told you about the consistency bias. If you're able to go through this, you're a winner because you're about to discover what's the best way to consistently pull hot girls. And in this video, I'm going to share a little bit about my story, how I went through different dating phases in my life and how I found what works best in consistently pulling hot girls. So for those who don't know me, I started learning success with women when I was 15. At the time, I was so fucking awkward. I couldn't talk to a girl. I couldn't look at a girl in the eyes. Eventually, I stumbled upon pickup artist forums and started learning and using those pickup artist techniques. So I got a few results, but I was still super fucking shy and awkward, and I was not happy with it. But the good thing is that those first few initial results, they gave me the motivation to push myself and to keep going, meeting more girls. Except that at the time, my problem was an extreme lack of self-confidence and a terrible time understanding social cues. Sometimes I still ask myself, am I autistic? Because when I see where I come from, it was a long way. So eventually I got into a relationship, but the relationship was shit because I didn't know what I was doing. She cheated on me, yada yada. Long story short, that's the biggest problem in my opinion with pickup artists. They understand techniques to move girls from point A to point B, but the underlying work was never done. And so it's awkward guys that try to behave like confident guys. And okay, maybe on the first day, the girl is not going to notice that you're actually awkward, but in the long run, it never works. Really, my pickup phase didn't last that long because when you are in this frame of mind of trying to use techniques to get girls, but actually you don't like yourself, most of your interactions feel bad because you don't like yourself, you don't like what you're doing, you have this imposter syndrome, so you feel even worse, and it's hard to convey confidence to the girl you're talking to. And like I said, generally you're weird to be around because eventually people realize that you had a fake front to get with them. And so long story short, I tried to become more confident and more charismatic, and after this breakup, I started watching YouTube videos from RSD. What I liked about them at the time is that they explained how to actually become more confident and charismatic, and at the time that's exactly what I needed because I was again so fucking awkward. It worked very well for me because it basically turned autistic me into confident and charismatic me. So that was a huge leap forward. At least I went from awkward to socially normal person, which was huge for me at the time. So now I have a lot of love for RSD and all the people who made videos in this company. It's just that at some point I realized I was hitting a ceiling. I was super confident and outgoing and I had no problems being myself when I was meeting girls. What I didn't like about it is that once you became a normal person, it was as good as you would get with their advice. I don't think I've ever seen any of those friends of mine who like RSD pull a girl home at the end of the night. Yes, they had a lot of fun, but they went back home alone. What's the point? When you see them outside, they're always running around, being obnoxious, spiking girls' emotions in the club. And in a sense, that's nice, but you don't pull girls home just with that. I think that always makes me laugh is that one of the last conversations that I had with one of my friends who was an RSD fanboy was, you know, bro, you you don't always get the girls. Sometimes you just can't do anything about it. It's just what it is, and you can't do anything about it. And I don't know about you, but I'm very unhappy with a conclusion like that. If you go out to have fun, that's one thing, but if you go out to also meet girls, and even if you don't go out at night, you go out during the day to get a coffee and you want to meet a girl, if you're happy with you don't always get it right, bro, sometimes it doesn't work and it's not your fault, you just can't do anything about it. Like, I don't know about you, but as a solution-oriented person, when I try to do something to get a result, I want to get the result. And if I don't get the result, I want to understand why I don't get the result. So I'm all for having a shit ton of fun when I go out, but also when I want to get with a girl, I want to make it work. I really think that you can both have fun and make it work. So RSD advice, awesome, changed my life, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, it's not super consistent. So eventually I tried different things to get with girls that I liked more, because once I became more confident, I was able to pull some girls. At least I was not awkward, so girls were showing me more interest than when I was awkward and just trying to do techniques with them. But I was still not getting with the girls that I really liked. So at this point in my life, I looked into the red pill manosphere advice, especially what says that you have to work on yourself and you have to basically become a better person to attract more and better girls. So notice how those two things either have a lot of fun with the RSD advice or become a better person with the red pill advice. Both those things are about you becoming different, as in be yourself, but in a different way, which is funny, but that's another topic. Become a better person, but no emphasis is put on the girl in front of you, as if there was no way to actually consistently get the outcome that you want. So again, I was very unhappy about that. But when I was in my red pill phase, at least it pushed me to become better in a few other areas of my life. And so that's very nice. I started to become way more consistent with the gym. I started to make way more money. Those things are great. And so at the same time, because I was looking better, because I was making more money, I was getting with girls who themselves respected themselves more, girls who were working on themselves more. But at the end of the day, those things still are about throwing random shit against the wall, hoping something sticks. So I thought to myself, there must be a better way to go about it. Because at the time, I was still not pulling as much as I'd want, and I was still not getting with girls who were the quality, girls who were of the caliber that I wanted to be with. For example, sometimes I would go up to a girl and initially she would react very well, but eventually I would see that her attraction for me would gradually go lower and lower to eventually totally go away. And I was confused and I was frustrated. And so even if I was getting with girls who were a little bit better than before, I was still not pulling more than before. And I was wasting so much time going out, trying to get with girls. Most of my nights I would go back home by myself because I didn't know how to make it work. I would be talking to girls and I would have no idea how to generate that attraction or to keep that attraction when I would randomly, for some reason, get a girl into me. And I had absolutely no idea how to lead those interactions to the outcome that I wanted. I had no idea how to pull a girl back home. Sometimes, rarely it would happen, but it was more random luck of me doing the random thing that now I know work. At the time, I didn't know. I was just doing random things, and eventually sometimes maybe it was working, but I really had no control over it. So now I'm all about building for yourself an abundance of opportunities with girls that you really like, so that at the end of the day you have the choice to be with the girl or the girls that make you happy, to have the relationship or the relationships that make you happy. But if you're not consistent with your ability to pull girls back home, to bring them out on dates with you and to lead those to the relationships that you want, you're again gonna waste so much time. It's gonna take you ages. It's a lot of time and effort wasted if you don't know what you're doing and you're just like, again, randomly throwing shit against the wall and hoping something sticks. Because there's a funny thing with dating that now I can see very clearly with experience, is that maybe right now you're watching this video and you're a total virgin, you've never been with a girl, and your dream situation right now is to sleep with a girl and get a girlfriend. That's your dream situation. Eventually, maybe one day you're going to get there. But the thing is that once you enter this situation, it's going to become your new comfort zone, and you're going to realize that this previous dream situation is actually a situation in which you are now that has clear flaws and clear things that don't make you happy. But hey, it's okay, it's better than what you had before, right? Same goes if right now you're pulling below than average girls in a very inconsistent manner. It's better than nothing, I guess, right? But there is a part of you that deep down knows that you're not really happy with this and that you have potential to do better. So why not cut to the good part and directly go for the ideal situation right now? Anyways, after being fed up with my red pill period, because for months and months I was watching those videos and I was getting better, but I was not getting better at actually picking up girls, and I got so frustrated. I finally went back to learning game. Actual, true, OG pickup artist game. But this time, minus all the awkwardness and the faking being an interesting person. And so the funny thing is that it's kind of like a circle. You start with learning the techniques to pretend being cool, then you actually do the right things to actually become cool, and you realize that, oh shit, you still need the techniques to actually get consistent results. Now I feel the techniques and the systems and all that works way better because I understand the cringe part of it, so I don't do it anymore. It's basically about taking the best in all areas to end up with something that works really, really well. And when you really master the right techniques and the right mindsets and the right systems and the right habits, this is when you consistently pull hot girls. Now I know that if I do the right thing with the right girl at the right time, she's going to chase me. And if I don't screw up, I'm going to bring her back home. I don't know if I can edit this in the video somewhere for you guys to see, but right now I am having spreadsheets of all the things that I do when I'm meeting girls to really pinpoint exactly where my tiny mistakes are. Because I know that once I take all the tiny mistakes from my behavior and I'm able to follow the systems properly and consistently, my results are going to be super consistent as well. If you've been watching my IG stories, you've seen that in the past few days, I've had great results being super sexual with girls on Tinder and getting them to come over directly. It's working because I have a system, a step-by-step on how to lead those interactions always to the next step. And it's working super consistently like fucking clockwork. If you make her feel what she needs to feel, when she needs to feel it, the way she needs to feel it, you're just going to pull every time. But if you don't have a basic understanding on how to be sociable, how to present yourself, and how to behave in front of other people, no amount of techniques or systems are ever going to help you. If you just have the techniques, you can't pull that off. If you just have the high value, you can't pull that off either. Now, if I really had to choose, I would say that having game beats just being a high value guy, because at least when you're in front of a girl, you know what to do, so you can lead your interaction somewhere. But when you have both, you get consistent results with hot girls on autopilot. So when I have guys in my coaching program, my goal is to do just that. We take guys, we socialize them, we turn them into cool guys, and then we give them techniques and systems for them to consistently pull girls that they really like. You can check out my other video, I'm going to put a link up here that explains exactly how my coaching works. But if you're ready to change things right now, today, there is a link as usual below this video to get on a call with me and get you started with the program. Anyways, that's all for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. Consider subscribing if you want to see more, and I will see you guys next time.